Gumby here at Heroes Martial Arts, downtown San Jose. Today we're going to just go ahead and do a simple warm-up workout that we do at the beginning of our fundamental classes. Now I know some of you have been with me for a while, haven't seen one of those warm-ups in a while. Some of you that might have been thinking like, oh, I need to go ahead and keep in shape to do Jiu Jitsu, or I need to get into better shape to do Jiu Jitsu. This is kind of our standard test to see where your physical fitness is at. If you can do this, you'll be fine for Jiu Jitsu. Some of you might be doing this right now because you're cooped up at home and no place to go and you need to get the workout in. These are some good ones to start off with. We're going to run through our most fundamental routine today, which is going to consist of 20 air squats, 20 push-ups, 20 parachuters, 30 seconds worth of it in the middles, 20 ups, our neck exercises, which are going to consist of 20 yes, no's, and maybe so's, and over the shoulder bridges. This workout is designed so you should be able to accomplish this in a cramped space in under 10 minutes. If you find this workout to be easy, there's definitely ways of ramping up the intensity on this. Let's go ahead and start off with the air squats. Feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed straight forward. Keep your posture good, alignment of shoulders and hips, and we're going to go ahead and count out down 20 times. Do it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I prefer to keep my hands either close to myself or a little bit in front of myself as I do this. You notice that each time I do the squat, I'm sitting down at least as low as my knees. So all leg bending here, I'm trying not to flex my back too much as I go down. And I'm a tall guy, so I'm definitely capable of achieving this one right here. If you want to, you can go ahead and push out, come back in each time. Push out, and come back in each time. Push-ups are usually self-explanatory, okay? The one thing that we want to do as Jiu-Jitsu folks is keep our core intact as we do this, okay? I like to line up shoulders directly over my hands, bring my legs out, and have a straight line in between my shoulders and my feet, okay? Now as I go down, chest touching the ground, come back up to a full extension. If you find that difficult, you can go ahead and start from your knees, same position. Now the line's just going from your shoulders to your hands, okay? Keep your core intact as you do this, all the way down, and all the way up, all the way down, and all the way up. Let's go ahead and count out 20 of those together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The parachuter maneuver comes next. And for all the ab strength we tend to build up with doing jiu-jitsu, we need to make sure we have a balance and work on our lower back to avoid any imbalances or long-term injuries. I'm going to start this off by laying face down on the ground. I'm going to drive my hips into the ground. I like my hands, I don't have to be straight out, but close to myself. When I go ahead and do the parachuter, I'll go ahead, come up, lifting up my shoulders, lifting up my feet, and driving my hips into the mat, and then come back down after a breath. Quick breath on that one right there. We can go ahead and work a pace on this. We're just going to go ahead and do 20. Let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. For static core strength, we're going to work a move called in the middles. A lot of times in Jiu-Jitsu, you're going to be asked to hold these core positions, these lockout positions, for long periods of time, especially when you're working in open guard. But for right now, I'm going to prefer to do this based on my breath. Big deep breaths in through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. Start flat on your back. Go ahead, reach up, your hands in between your knees, bring your knees into yourself right here. You really should just be on the small of your back as you do this. Okay? Exhale all of the air, come back down. Big deep breath in through your nose. Come back up. Knees up, feet reaching in between your feet, or hands reaching in between your feet on the small of your back. Continue to exhale. Don't hold your breath. When you run out of air, come back down, repeat the process. Flatten your back, big deep breath in through your nose. Come up, in the middle, abdominal crunch, hold it. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Shouldn't feel a strain on your lower back when you do this, okay? Just going ahead and holding our abs tight. You can do this one 30 seconds. I'm going to see you have your own timer. Now the next thing we're going to do are ups, or explosive core strength exercises. This one will make your attacks from the guard much more possible to do. Now, there's a few things I look out for this. I'm very protective of my back, my spine, and particularly my neck. I will start this move off by laying flat on my back, but with my chin tucked into my chest. I'll go ahead and bring my knees into myself, coiling up like a ball, and then I'm going to explode upwards and outwards in one motion after that, shooting my heels up towards the sky. Notice when I do this, I want my feet and hips to go as high off the ground as possible, but I never drive off my head and my neck. Starting off laying down, bring my knees into myself, coil up, and explode upwards and outwards. Never putting pressure on my head and my neck when I do this. Notice that when I do this, I always push my feet a little bit outside myself right there. I never really want, when I explode outwards, my feet to come on this side of my hips. It's always out and away. Look, I know a lot of people show this version as the ups or a triangle shot, okay? If you have a tendency to push off of your head and your neck, particularly in moves that people will stack you on, you're asking to injure your head and your neck, okay? I don't like these ones where we shoot up and go over here on our head and our neck, because I think that's setting you up for a bad habit, and I think that's going to get you hurt down the road. Now, I realize that until you've had some practice at this, or if you've never worked out explosive core strength before, that motion might be difficult. You can go ahead and work a version right now to help you out until you build up the core strength by having your triceps flat on the ground, by having your forearms straight up and down, and use that as a bit of a kick stand to lift yourself up. Same motion right here, but I will drive my triceps into the ground in order to lift myself up as high as I can go. Eventually, you won't need that with some level of practice. Once again, we're going to do that 20 times to the level that you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The next thing we're going to do is work on our necks. You know, in an art, when people are trying to choke and strangle us, you know, when our head tends to go one way, our body goes the other. I'm not saying a stronger neck will completely prevent injuries, but it'll make you less susceptible to them, and when they do happen, you'll have a better recovery time on this. I like to call these yes, no's, and maybe so's. We'll start off laying flat on our backs, okay? We're gonna go ahead. A yes is just bring your chin to your chest while laying flat on your back. A no is bring your chin to each shoulder. And then an I don't know or a maybe so is bringing your ear to your shoulder. The usual routine we try to work up to are 20 yeses, 20 no's, 2 equals 1, left shoulder, right shoulder, and 20, I don't know. If you can make it through this routine without having your head actually touch the mat, you have a pretty strong neck. 1, chin to chest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 no's. Notice that my head is not touching the ground at any point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then 20 maybes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. True story. I'm what you would call a slim guy. In fact, up until fairly recently, I could still fit into the same suit that I graduated high school in 20 odd years ago, with the very exception of my neck's gotten a lot bigger. My neck is 17 and a half and my waist is 32. The last part of our fundamental exercises that we're going to do right now are over the shoulder bridges. Now, we don't do anything mystical. We don't really believe in chi within Jiu Jitsu. I always like to tell people, if I'm a ground fighter, it's not because I like being on the ground. It's because I know how to use the ground. I know how to frame off of the ground. I know how to push off the ground. I know how to weaponize the ground and smash you into it. But I always felt that as long as I'm a ground fighter, as long as I'm not fighting in space or underwater, as long as I'm connected to the ground in some way, then it's not just me versus my opponent. It's me in the ground versus my opponent. Or me in the whole world versus my opponent. So in order to maximize that, I want to make sure I have a good connection to the ground. Okay? I'm going to lay with my feet flat on the ground, heel of my foot on the ground, ball of my foot on the ground, and within reason, to get more explosion on this, I'm going to go ahead and pull my feet in close to my body. The closer my feet are to my body, the better bridge I can get. As a demonstration, you can visualize from the ground through my feet, through my knees, through my hips. I'm going ahead and elevating, essentially planking right now between my shoulder and my knee should be one straight line. If I didn't have a good connection to the ground, clearly not going to bridge or go any closer to this. So again, bring my feet in close to my body, heel of my foot on the ground, ball of my foot on the ground connected, and we'll visualize. From the ground, through my feet, through my knees, through my hips. We'll go ahead and go up. Notice again, chin tucked into my chest. I never really liked those bridges where I go over my head and my neck. I think that develops a bad habit. Feet connected to the ground, heel of my foot on the ground, ball of the foot on the ground. And we'll go from the ground, through my feet, through my knees, to my hips, elevating up, basic bridge right there. You can go ahead and do those basic bridges for up to 30 seconds at a time. I like to do those on the big deep breath, okay? But we're gonna do something a little bit different right now. We're gonna work a basic Jiu Jitsu upa or a modified bridge. Rather than going straight back, I'm going to go over my collarbone, over my clavicle. From the ground to my feet, through my knees, through my hips. Turn your head in the direction. If I'm going over my left shoulder, I'm reaching back to my right hand. From the ground to my feet, through my knees, to my hips, up and over my collarbone. We'll like to go ahead and alternate. You can go ahead and do this for 30 seconds on your breath if you wish. It's really important to notice that aside from my head and my neck not touching the ground when I do this, the sides of my arm don't do this either. When I make this bridge, I can actually go ahead and freely move my arm. That little detail will actually become very important when you have an opponent on top of you that doesn't want to move, because this move, the upa, is essentially our mountain escape. The ground to my feet, to my knees, to my hips, up and over my collarbone. Ground to my feet, to my knees, to my hips, up and over my collarbone. And there you have it, a modified version of our fundamentals warm-ups right there. Capable of being done in under 10 minutes in a very confined space. Now, if you've been doing this for a long time and you find that easy, then you can modify the workout by doing some of the following things. Add more repetitions. Sometimes I'll do this in sets of 25 and 30 as opposed to the basic set of 20. You can also go AMRAP style, as many reps as possible. Set up a timer, 30 seconds to start off with, and work your way up to a minute, and see how many repetitions of each of these moves you can get during those 30 seconds. Go all out, it's a short workout. Thanks for tuning in, and happy training.